Caught you, Grandmama. I caught you.
Good morning. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and today I was talking to my daughter Jill yesterday. She lives in Maine, and they were expected to have, I think, yesterday or Monday, 11 inches of snow, and they already had 6 inches on the ground. So she's been making the soup, tomato basil soup, and she said, "Mom, it is so good." And we're having a cold spell. It was 31 degrees here this morning. So she said it would be a good time for you to just make soup because your dad would really enjoy it. So that's what I'm doing. And this is her recipe. I'm going by her recipe. She's like me. She takes a basic recipe and she tweaks it. She makes it her own. And that's what she did with this one. So, but I'm going to try to make it just like she told me. I got it in my head. She sent me the recipe, but I've talked to her a couple of times, so I'm hoping I'm doing it the way she did it. I may change a thing or two here or there, but in this pan, in my baker, I have got olive oil in the bottom, and I've got one medium yellow onion that I have cut up. Now, this is Roma tomatoes, but on top of that, the recipe calls for like a cup of fresh basil, and I'm going to put a little bit of basil because I'm going to roast this. And I'm just going to put a little bit of basil, and I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of dried because I love basil. Uh, and this is Roma tomatoes. I've washed them. And
Well, are you going to put more basil in later?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to add the rest.
It goes in after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So right now, I don't know if she turned her tomatoes upside down or how she did it, but I'm going to do mine like this.
Did she point them east or west?
Well, she did say you cut them from top to bottom. So that's what I'm doing. So these are going to roast on 425 for probably, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes, just until they get roasted good and your onions kind of caramelize. Now, she didn't say this, but I'm going to put a little salt on mine because that brings, and a little pepper, that brings out the juice in them. Okay. And these are kind of big, so you know what?
That's not what she said do.
Well, the bigger ones, I'm just cutting again. Okay, now, I think I'm going to turn them over because I think this is what she would have done. And I'm trying to do it. Pepper gets me every time. Okay.
Are you going to cheat and put some dried tomatoes in here that you dried last year?
No, I'm not. No, not this time. I'm going to try to go right by her recipe. Okay. I've got my oven preheated at 425. I'm going to put these in for 15 or 20 minutes just till they get roasted good. And my onions kind of caramelize. Okay, that's all I can do for right now. So I'll be back in a few minutes. As soon as I take these out of the oven.
How's it going, Grandmama?
Well, I got my tomatoes roasted here. I'm going to turn on these lights so it's brighter in here. I got my tomatoes roasted with my onions. You want to look at it? And now I did it 25 minutes on 425. Man, they look good.
You had a herb in there too, didn't you?
I did my basil.
A little bit of basil.
Okay. Now, I jotted the recipe down so I could follow it better than I could on my phone. So I'm hoping I'm going to get this right. In a large, this is not a Dutch oven, but this is like a 5-quart. I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on. It says to put 4 cups of chicken broth. Now, this is my homemade chicken broth that I got out of the freezer. But I don't know that I'm making quite as much as the recipe calls for, so I'm only going to put 3 cups. I can add more if I need to. All right, to this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic, no, 2 teaspoons. It calls for garlic cloves, but I just have the minced garlic, so that's what I'm going to use. And it calls for thyme. I don't have thyme. I don't use thyme that much. And it also, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. So I got that in there, and I'm going to bring that to a boil. Let me get the right spoon. I'll just use this one. All right, that's chicken broth. Then I'll have the recipe in the description box. Chicken broth, garlic, and Italian seasoning. Now, let me see what it says from there. Cook until fragrant, about 1 to 2 minutes. So I'm going to let this come up to a little boil. And I decided I'm going to make some keto bread while this is cooking. It's got to cook about, I don't know, 30 minutes. So while it's doing that, I'm going to make some keto bread like y'all have seen me make before. And I'm going to make us a grilled cheese sandwich to go with this. I'm going to do mine with pepper jack cheese and Roy's with Swiss cheese because that's the cheeses we like.
And if you go back through her videos, you can learn how to make
keto
bread.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. I'm putting this on high right now because I want it to come up to a quick boil. And in this, it calls for a 14-ounce can of tomatoes, but I'm cheating again. This is my fresh canned tomatoes, and this is 16 ounces. It's a pint. So I'm just going to add 2 extra ounces. It doesn't matter. But that's my homemade chicken broth and my homemade tomatoes. But if you don't have that, you use chicken broth out of a carton or can, and you use 14 ounces of diced tomatoes. Okay, and we're using heavy cream and our roasted tomatoes. It's really, once you get your tomatoes and your onions and basil roasted, it's a quick soup. That smells so good. I wish I had some thyme, but I don't. It calls for fresh thyme, but I'm not going to buy a whole thing of fresh thyme just for 1 teaspoon. So if I had any dried, I would use that. But it does call for dried Italian seasoning. Okay. That smells good. Okay, it's getting hot. All right, and I'm going to let it cook for about a minute. And this is my little immersion blender right here. So if you've never used one of these are the handiest little things. It's going to be kind of chunky. So I'll take my immersion blender, and the recipe says that, and you blend it up till it's really smooth. I love that. I don't use it often, but I've had this probably, over 20 years probably. It still works good. And so I just keep it in a drawer, and I may use it 2 or 3 times a year, but you know what? When I need it, it's in my drawer. Okay. That smells good. Now, to this, I'm going to add my roasted tomatoes, my onions. I'll pick that up. I don't want to lose those onions. I could eat that right now. Boy, that looks good. Okay. Get all this goodness. I don't want to leave any in this pan. Now, if I had used parchment paper on this, I wouldn't have all this to clean up. But hey, Roy usually washes my dishes anyway. So
she has no compassion on me as a dishwasher.
He usually washes my dishes, so you know. No, if I had thought about it, I would have put parchment paper down. Okay. Now to this, I'm going to add my jar of fresh tomatoes. This is where you would add your diced tomatoes. But, okay. Now, let me get my recipe. See what else. Okay, let's see. Roasted canned tomatoes and fresh basil. This is where, now this was a cup of fresh basil. So, you add that in. And y'all,
it's good.
Fresh basil. I love dried, but the fresh is so good. Okay. Now, I think this is all we add right now. I already put my garlic in. All right, we bring this to a boil and we let it, let's see, bring to a boil, then reduce to simmer. At this point, season with salt and pepper. Okay. I'm going to put pepper. It didn't say how much. That's just according to your taste. And we can add more later if we need to. Okay. I'm going to taste of it though. Even though those flavors haven't had time to combine and marry together. Oh my. Wow. That's delicious. Okay.
Excuse me.
All right. Bring to a boil, then reduce this. At this point, season with salt and pepper. Simmer. Okay. About 20 or 25 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. I'll see you back here in 20 minutes. Come right here.
Grandma, from the looks of these bowls and spoons, we're getting close.
Yep. Okay. I've had it on simmer for 30 minutes. And this is what it looks like.
Ooh.
All right. Now, I'm fixing to put 1 teaspoon of sugar. Now, in this pot, 1 teaspoon of sugar is not going to affect anything. You can use the sugar alternative if you want to. But I'm not scared of 1 teaspoon of sugar. It's not going to affect anything one way or the other. Okay. Now put on my apron because I don't know how bad this is going to splatter. It won't splatter if I remember to leave my blender
Underwater.
under the soup and not pull it out with it still, because I have to control it with this little button right here with my thumb like that. So sometimes I forget and my thumb is still down and my blender is coming out and it goes everywhere.
Slings it.
Yeah. So, all right.
If you like it thick, you don't have to do this, do you?
Well, yeah, you do, because it's a smooth soup. Okay. I have a high and a low speed on this. And you're trying to get your basil blended up with your tomatoes and your onions. You're trying to get everything really smooth. Okay. May take a little while.
Now, your homemade marinara is not a deep red, so...
This is not marinara. This is tomatoes, canned tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yours still aren't a deep
No,
red.
no,
You
no.
can them right out of the garden.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you're using tomato paste or something like that, this would be...
Diced tomatoes is what,
It
yeah.
would be redder, wouldn't it?
No, not necessarily. Well,
wouldn't it?
sometimes it would, yeah. Yeah.
But it looks delicious. I'm ready to eat.
I think mine is a little thinner than what it should be, and I'm going to tell you the reason. I didn't make as much as what the recipe calls for. I should have only started out with 2 cups of broth, chicken broth, where I put 3 in. So, all right. My blender is... Why is my blender not working? All right, I'm fixing to pick it up. Well, it quit. Just like that. It just quit.
That may be the last time you ever used this 20-year-old.
I shouldn't have said it was over 20 years old, should I?
Should not have.
All right, y'all. Y'all know me. I will not be outdone. Honey, turn that off. I'm going to get my blender out. And we're going to blend this up. And Jill told me, she said, Mom, I didn't have an emulsion blender, so I just got my Ninja out. So y'all know what I'm fixing to do? I'm fixing to get my blender out, and we're going to blend this up just like it says.
Well, it looks good like it is.
Yeah, but you want it to be...
You're just delaying me eating it.
No, you want it to be smooth, not chunky. So turn that off and out.
Oh, my goodness. I took a bite out, y'all.
Roy just messed up my picture. He's all the time coming in, testing, tasting. My grilled cheese sandwich that I'm making, look at there. He took a bite out.
It was good.
And it wasn't even his sandwich. It was my sandwich with pepper jack cheese.
You're
His-
giving them way more information.
His
than they
has
want to
Swiss
hear.
cheese. Okay. I'm going to finish
Okay, hold
this
it. Tell
in a
them what
minute.
this is you're making.
All right. This is my keto bread that I make with almond flour, eggs, cream cheese,
0 carb.
0 carb, and I am making a grilled cheese sandwich out of it. All right. While that's doing, this is my little blender, trusted blender right here. Woo! Okay. I'm just going to pulse it. It's wanting to come out. There's so much in it. I think I put too much, but I'll get it done. Never be outdone in the kitchen. There's always a way to fix stuff, usually. Okay. Woo!
All right, don't tear up my soup.
Oh my, y'all. All right, let me check on my grilled cheese sandwich here. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Okay. My cheese is melting. That's really all I want, is for my cheese to melt. I'm gonna let mine get a little bit browner. Roy wants his browner. Now, I'm gonna pour this soup back in here. Look at there, y'all.
Oh. Oh.
This just gives Roy one more dish to wash, y'all.
Payback is rough.
No, I've been washing dishes, believe me, while I've been waiting for this. Okay, now, look at that.
That is beautiful.
Isn't it? All right, let me check on my sandwich right here. I don't want to get it too brown. All right, I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to use the same butter. There's plenty of butter in there. And I'm going to do Roy's, all right? While that's doing, now, I am supposed to put anywhere from 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup of heavy cream. But I think since mine is already not quite as thick as it should be, I'm only going to put 1/2 cup of heavy cream in it. And I'm going to let it simmer for like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Look at that. Of course, now this is as thick as Roy and I will want it. So, all right. Now I have to stir it constantly because it's got this heavy cream in it. Okay, back up a little bit, baby. You can see too many of my wrinkles in that. When you get a close up like that. All right, I'm gonna turn it. Sometimes when I'm watching my videos, I think, oh my word, at the wrinkles. And when he gets a close up like that, you can really see them. Okay, I'm gonna taste of it. Oh my. Y'all, that is so good. And as you can see, Roy, if you get over in here, you can see it blended except for just a little green specks of the basil, it blended the tomatoes, it blended the onions. All right.
That looks edible to me.
Now, I'm going to leave the lid off for about 2 minutes. I'm going to finish our sandwiches right here. Look at that. Look at all that melted cheese right there. I'm going to go ahead and put mine on the table.
This keto bread is excellent for sandwiches. It's excellent for pancakes in the morning.
Yep.
Get you some no sugar jams or no sugar syrup.
Okay.
We just eat it.
Look at that. Doesn't that look good?
Oh, yeah.
Let me get that cheese off the top because I got to take a picture.
Look, I'm going to go to charging you extra if you don't get me something to eat.
Okay, y'all. I just want to get this cream. It still likes a minute or two. But the blender works wonders. As a matter of fact, I may use my blender every time. Unless I get a more powerful immersion blender. Mine's got 2 speeds, but the even high wasn't real high. So Roy's going to try to fix it, but I really don't think he can. Okay. All right. Let me check my recipe. I think that's everything. Use immersion blender, blend until smooth. And I added the teaspoon of sugar. Remember, now you can use your natural alternative if you want to. Stir in heavy cream. Adjust to desired consistency by adding a little more broth or a little more cream. But what I did, I didn't add quite as much heavy cream.
Well,
So
you didn't make but about half as much.
I only made, yeah. See, she had a lot more tomatoes than I did, but I didn't want that much. I just wanted, her family's larger than mine. It's just me and Roy. Promise is not here this week, so. I think it needs a little bit more salt. Boy, that's good. And a little bit more pepper. And this is where you can add that. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, I am going to, I don't know what that is in that bowl. Oh well, just a little piece of trash. Now, what would be really be pretty, and I may do it. Wow. Y'all look at that. Woo. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Now, y'all, this is so healthy and low carb. So healthy. All right. I'm going to do this. Let's see. Where's my... Just to make it pretty for my picture. Now, this is fresh basil. I'm going to take one leaf and I'm going to wash it. You could, but yeah, the green ones. All right.
You just want to dress it up.
Yeah.
You got some parsley.
All right. Let me get a little knife. Okay.
I bet kale would be good in this.
I don't know. I think it would be too thick. All right. I'm just getting my little cutting board here. And I'm going to chiffonade. Y'all know what chiffonade is? It's where you just cut it in a little old bitty. This really is not chiffonading. It's where you cut it in little old bitty long strips. Something like this. Now, if it was carrots or anything like that, it would be like julienne. But okay. I just want to make it pretty. So I'm putting just a little bit of fresh basil right on top. Now, this is our lunch right here. I've already tasted of it for you. It is it's going to be one of our favorite. And this freezes well. You can make this, put it in little, either individual size containers or one for just, if there's two of you, put it in a little pint container, quart container, stick it in the freezer. When you get ready to eat, just take it out, put it in the microwave, thaw it. It will be delicious. So, Roy and I are going to eat. I'm going to get a picture of this beautiful lunch. And thank y'all for watching me this morning. This has been fun. Even though I've had several little things that didn't work out right, it's really been fun. This is a fun thing to do right here. So thank you for joining me. Hit that little subscribe button, little notification bell. And please, please share this video. And remember, food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Put deliciousness, keto friendly, low carb. Put deliciousness back in your healthy food. Love y'all.